Welcome into the First Word presented by Dr. Pepper. The final from MetLife Stadium, 34-17. The final as the New York Giants take down the Dallas Cowboys in Week 18. Cowboys finished their first season under Brian Schottenheimer at 7-9-1. Their final record going into their first offseason under Brian Schottenheimer. We've got Barry Church, Nate Newton, and Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeomans. And gentlemen, of course, there's a contingency of Cowboys fans right now that are happy because they go from the 13th pick in the NFL draft to go down to maybe as low as 11, possibly, depending on some of the other results as well. There's another contingency that's not happy with the way that things showed across the way for the Cowboys in this one. Isaiah, I'm going to start with you. What did you see out of this Cowboys team today, both from a positive standpoint or a not so positive standpoint?
The positive standpoint, you had some veterans that showed up in a major way. One of which I'd like to highlight, Jadeveon Clowney. He's somebody that showed up and balled out as if it was a contract day for him, which it really was a contract day for him. He came and signed on for $3.5 million for this year. I think he just made that price go up. Went out there and had multiple sacks, a couple of TFLs. He was all over the place playing like you would expect everybody to play. But unfortunately, that wasn't a consistent vibe check across the board. We had a lot of inconsistencies. We had lack of tackling. We had drop coverages. We had just bad play on offense. Overall, it was not great football, but there were some great highlights of individuals. Running game looked good. And then again, there were some guys on defense, but then there were some disciplinary issues as well on the field that have to be addressed. But it's the last game. It's kind of hard to be hard on these guys in the last game. I mean, in reality, I know from the fans' perspective, everybody's like, oh, you got to be serious. These guys just want to get out of this game healthy.
Yeah, and they did for the most part. They got out healthy for the most part. Defensively, I like what you said about Clowney, Club 42 member right there. He played very well this game. You saw him winning the one-on-one opportunities. You saw him, great against the run, getting after the quarterback as well. But like you said, Isaiah, the inconsistencies were just too much. And we've seen that pretty much the entire season, especially on the defensive side of the football. The basics, which this is what this game was all about. It was a glorified preseason game. And so you want defensively the basics to be on point. You don't want any, missed coverages. You want to be able to tackle, gang tackle out there, limit the explosive plays. And what we've seen from this defense, which pretty much we've seen all season long, was, those cases were not there. I mean, there was bad tackling. There's miscommunication out there, huge explosive plays from guys that, you rarely seen on the New York Giants making plays this year. They were making plays on this defense, and we've seen that too much this year. I will say on the offensive side of the football, I like what I saw from Jadon Blue, the running back. He's shown that explosiveness out there. He showed it to be able to run behind his pads. That was kind of my concern with him as a running back, was kind of shying away from contact. But he had an impressive day along with Jadeveon Clowney. But for me, once again, it's too much of the inconsistencies on the defensive side of the football that led to the outcome this afternoon.
You two guys got your wish. Oh, Kyle, I got to add you in there. We got Dak out of there without being hurt, without getting injured, excuse me. But the thing that was just disheartening was we kept our first unit defensive line in there. And Clowney showed up a little bit, Williams here and there, but not much more. I expected better. Yeah. Our offensive line stayed in the whole game to try to give Milton a chance to be better. Other guys like Tolbert still dropping passes. This team need an overhaul, and it's not just with the coaches. You got to go to training camp with your eyes wide open, understanding that it should be some changes. I never attack players. You never hear me really go after guys, but that is not how you play Dallas Cowboy football. You're going to have to pick your game up. Coach, you need to look at your guys real hard, because that is not how you play football. We got to play our quarterback a half of a game because we don't really have anybody else. I mean, everybody like Milton, great arm, but do you know where you're throwing it? Got a wide receivers out there, Tolbert running around. Come on, my man. Yeah. Second, third round pick, brother. It's your third year. Just running around. Yeah. Not knowing what to do. I mean, this team has to be better. Our fans deserve better.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah. Now, there are a couple things here. First off, it is official. Atlanta beats New Orleans, which not only secures the NFC South for the Carolina Panthers, but also Atlanta's win actually puts the Cowboys down a draft position. So the Cowboys picked up a spot with their loss and Atlanta's win. They flip-flopped. So Dallas currently sits with the 12th overall pick. The only way they move up to 11th is if the Dolphins defeat the New England Patriots, and they would get to 11. Patriots need a win and a loss to clinch the AFC division, the AFC East in that regard. So they're going to be playing all their guys. So it's more than likely the Cowboys would pick at 12th in the upcoming NFL draft. And then, of course, we'll see what the Packers do in the playoffs. That's where that playoff spot will decide the other draft picks. Now, Isaiah, you mentioned a couple of the guys there, Nate, Tolbert, Milton, some of these young guys getting an opportunity to play, both running backs, Jaden Blue, Phil Maffa, playing significant snaps. Did anybody stand out in a positive way on that element of the game?
I think both of the running backs that I was pretty much paying attention to, that was going to be Jaden Blue. I think he did a good job, obviously showing some burst and some acceleration as Church mentioned, he didn't shy away from contact. I think one of his big things is he has to welcome the contact. You're a running back. You have to get accustomed to that. You're going to have to want the smoke. I think oftentimes he loses his footing because he's anticipating that contact, right? And then when it doesn't come, he falls forward when he could have some explosive runs. But also my boy Phil Maffa, Maffa. That's my dude right there. Powerful running back. Didn't get a lot of carries today. Only got 5 touches, but he did well with what he received. You saw the potential there. Physicality, downhill, able to get outside the tackle box as well and make some things happen. So I think that there's some huge upside in terms of Cowboys Nation. Looking forward to that running back room. Obviously, they still want to try to bring back Javonte Williams if that's something that he wants to do this offseason. But if not, then you still have 2 prospects that I think, along with Malik Davis, that you can feel comfortable and confident with.
Yeah, I'm liking both of these backs. I believe that Jaden Blue could be that change of pace, that screen guy, can get him activated as a receiver out of the backfield. He showed that explosiveness. So I loved what I saw from both of these young backs taking advantage of their opportunity. But what I was looking at, and what Nate, you kind of alluded to earlier, was the offensive line play and how we kept them in there pretty much the entire game. And yet we didn't see a solid play from those groups. I mean, both Dak Prescott and Joe Milton seemed to be getting harassed throughout that entire game. And you have your starting offensive lineman out there going against, granted, New York Giants do have a bonded defensive line, a very solid defensive line, but you would have liked to see that play a little bit more elevated from your offensive line. In your opinion, Nate, is it an interior issue, or are we talking more on the edges when you talk about this offensive line needing to pick their game up?
We were a little bit more solid when Smith was in the inside. Him and Booker was taking care of Cooper Beebe. We got a little weaker when he went outside. So that's where they got to fix it at.
I got you.
We got to fix our offense and defensive lines. We cannot go another year without doing it. You've given Dak, is at the back end of his career. You got to give him every opportunity. You went out and got 2 nice wide receivers. You got 2 great wide receivers. You got a solid running back. That offensive line, and it's not that they're sorry and cannot play. What hurts them is the continuity. They have to be able to play 8, 9, 10 games in a row. I mean, at each different times, I don't think my left tackle, Guyton played more than 3 games in a row. That cannot be. I mean, you still, until you're going into your 2nd, 3rd year, you have to be able to go out there. I know you can't dictate injuries, but you got to be out there a little bit more to be able to help Tyler Smith at the left guard, and in turn the center, BB will get better, and everybody will get better as you get more continuity. For me, Brevin Spanford has to play more. Every time this kid touches the ball, it's 15, 16-yard catch. And I know he's not doing what Fergie do, banging and then going out. Okay, that's all fine and well. But this league is about 3 tight ends now. This league is about multiple matchups. And when we can take a 13 personnel or 12 personnel and set it out on the field, that's an automatic mismatch. All the better teams have that mismatch and that ability to do that. We should have that same ability.
And there's a lot of elements that you could upgrade in the offseason. There's a bunch of places you could start in the offseason. But I'm going to leave it up to you guys as we wrap up our final edition of The First Word. Where do you start with this football team? Where do you go first? What's the first move you make in order to try and revamp this team and make a playoff push in 2026?
I am going to get a very well-respected defensive coordinator. I'm not a decision maker. I've mentioned in the pregame show, I really love Coach Eberflus as a person. I just think that the last few years as a coach, it necessarily just hasn't been a hit for him. But I believe that if you're going to really give hope and really kind of define the other aspects of your team, Offense is solid. You know that. Special teams, defense, right? So you have to address your defense. Offense and defense have to be solid, and then you can work on special teams. But you need a D coordinator that is so well respected that players around the league that are available to come know exactly what they're signing up for and aren't necessarily wishing or hoping or having to be sold on what it is that you guys are trying to present.
Yeah, and once you get that defensive coordinator, in place, I need you to talk to him and make sure you get the pass rusher that he wants in there on this defensive line. We know this is a quarterback-driven league, and the best way for a defense to be successful in this league is to be able to make things hard for the opposing quarterback. We didn't have any of that this year. So once you get that defensive coordinator in place, get you a pass rusher that can go out there and elevate everyone else, make everyone else get the one-on-ones, and they're able to take advantage of it. But you got to get a pass rusher in there to make things hard for the opposing quarterback.
Fix your offensive line. Fix your offensive line. And you will go much further next year if you just fix your offensive line, whether that's a guy staying healthy or going out getting a better guy through free agency. No more rookies. Go out and get you a veteran guy that you know that can ball out and do it like that.
And there's a lot of different areas that the Cowboys could address. We will have you covered on DallasCowboys.com all the way through. We do have more post-game reaction coming up in just a matter of moments. Cowboys Game Night and Cowboys OT. Be sure to tune into those. We'll have plenty of locker room reaction. Final time the Cowboys will talk after this 34-17 loss to the New York Giants wraps up the 2025 campaign. The Cowboys fall to 7-9-1. They are currently in the 12th spot to pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. For Barry Church, Nate Newton, and Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Thanks for watching The First Word, presented by Dr. Pepper.